Hey everybody, it's Wednesday morning. I'm out at Temple Bar. I just got the boat in the water. I thought I'd kind of give you guys a ramp update. Last time I was out here was Memorial Day. Obviously the water's down a little bit more, probably a foot or so. So I'll let you kind of look at the ramp here. It's the same ramp that they've always used. It's nothing new. It's in the same location. It goes out into the water there, probably a good solid 20 feet. It's a pretty gentle slope. It's not anything too crazy. Like I said, my boat's 22 feet 3 inches long on a trailer that's 29 feet 8 inches long, dual axle, with the tires being at the rear of the trailer due to the length of the boat. So for me to launch that boat, I basically need to have pretty much the trailer has to be all the way in the water up to just before the tongue. So you're talking 26 foot. If I don't have pretty much 26 foot of trailer in the water, I can't float it. So if you can come back here and you can kind of see it, I'll try to get to the end here. Right there is the end of the mat, okay? So from the end of the mat to the front of the mat, you're looking at probably 30. We'll pace it off right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, almost 20. I have a 2-foot stride, so that's 40 foot into the water. So that's a good launch. It's actually pretty it's pretty stable. I only have a 2-wheel drive truck, so I have no problem getting in and out. There's no holes or anything in the mat. It's pretty level, pretty flat. Obviously there's dirt on both sides, so I would definitely recommend staying on the mat because it's probably pretty soft. The launch ramp itself is good. The courtesy dock next to the launch ramp pretty much sucks. It's not very long. As you can see, there's a cleat here and a cleat there, but they're useless because they're right there within the first 10 feet of the dock. Once you get out to the end of the courtesy dock, there's absolutely no cleats. The courtesy boat that's out here that takes people out to the docks always docks on the other side. Okay, so it's usually there. You can tie up on the other side if you want. On the other side of the courtesy dock here, over in that area there is where a lot of the kayakers were back launching Memorial Day. As you can see here, if you stay close to the dock, okay, right here, you could still pretty much launch your kayak, and I think you'd be okay. But once you get around the corner here, I'm going to come over here and show you where you guys were launching Memorial Day. That's, unless you're just, throwing the thing in by hand and it's a light one, kind of like what I own, you're not probably going to launch over here. If you can see this, but it's a pretty steep drop in here all the way around. That's a deep drop. You're not backing a kayak trailer into that thing. Not at all. So even over there, it may not look steep, but it is pretty steep. But you can use the launch ramp, or you can go to the left of the dock here and still get away with launching a little kayak trailer. Having said that, once you launch your kayak, you can obviously come over to here where it is steep and easily tie up, and it's not a big deal. For the boats, once you launch your boat over here, you're going to have to go over to the dock over here and tie up. And again, the first 50 feet or so doesn't have any cleats. About where I'm tied up is where the cleats start. So we'll kind of walk over there. Now, obviously parking is always good. If you don't have a trailer, you can park really close. If you have a trailer, you got to walk, but you're only walking a third or even a quarter of the distance you would out at Colville. So anyway, we get on the dock here and we'll come out here for a minute. As you can see, they have cleats here, but they're useless because you're right on shore. Then you kind of come down through here and you'll see one more cleat here, and they kind of start here, okay? The problem is you're so close to the launch ramp with the cleats here and here, you might not want to do that if you've got other people launching. But if you come down a little bit further, which is kind of where I'm at, and you kind of notice where all the other boats start, then you can launch. So there I am. I'm obviously tied up. And then we come out here and you can see where the other boats are tied up. So, you know, obviously you can tie up over here, you know, just come out just a little bit further. There's the dock over there. So, you know, from this point forward, you know, the cleats are really easy to get to, and you can tie up, and it's a very short walk, so it's not a big deal. But anyway, that's kind of the Temple Bar update. You know, the launch ramp it's still in good shape. You know, it's got 40 foot into the water. Courtesy dock's okay. You know, everything's pretty much status quo here. Temple Bar always tries to do a really good job at keeping their launch ramp open. It's their livelihood. Without it, they don't exist. So they make an honest effort. There's going to be reefs as I leave. You're going to have to watch them, especially when you get to the corner of the gas dock. It's going to get really narrow and tight there. I'll check out the lake elevation as I go by. I imagine it's still at least 16 feet or 10 feet, somewhere you'll be fine. But it's definitely going to get more narrow there. So if multiple boats trying to go through there, you just kind of have to pay attention. Anyway, so that's it. Cheers, guys.